Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. We have a special guest in the studio today. Joining us, our very own Tony Wynn, who works here at the station. Now, Tony, you have a web series called Nuygen-Win Situation, and you've done a couple different cool themes so far, but you have a new project that's coming out tonight that you can see on our website. Tell us about that.
Well, like you said, it's called the Win-Win Situation. It is a web series, but also a podcast, and what it is a look into Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong in people's jobs, hobbies, activities, events, what have you. And so this in particular episode, I jumped into the world of magic and followed a couple of magicians, both in the professional realm, but also the amateur realm, and trying to see all of the things that could potentially go wrong in that kind of a situation. Yes,
and they're performing on stage, and there's a lot of elements that are in play, and I actually watched the series, and when you followed Sean, Paul, and Julianne, who are professional magicians, and they talked about how the crowd can play a factor. They have a pet monkey that performs with them as well, and that can play a factor. Oh, what are some of the takeaways you had when you spoke with them?
Well, I think the main theme of really all of the Win-Win Situation episodes and the podcast is just that there's a lot more that goes on in everyday people's jobs. And a magician is no different. And if anything, Sean Paul does a bunch of escape artist type stuff. So the things that he risks is literally his life at times. So it's just one of those things where if you're mad at an employee, they're doing their thing, just realize that their job is a lot more complex than you think it is.
One of the other things that they talked about when you're interviewing them is when people come in and they try to disprove the magic tricks, and they say a lot of times that's frustrating for them because most of the time when people come up with a theory of how a trick is done, it's wrong.
Right, yeah, and that's, again, the things that you don't think about, that most people think they know how a trick is done, and it's not the case. And we live in a world of technology where reviews and things like that are put out before you even get the product or see the product. So, these people who think they know what the tricks are and everything, could taint, your product and whatnot. And so that's very much a thing that they have to concern themselves with.
Absolutely. You also spoke with Cody Lowry, who has a day job as a police officer here in the area, but he's also a magician as well. And Cody does a card trick for you, which is pretty cool. You can see the whole thing from start to finish, and it's pretty incredible how that turned out. But you brought some cards up here as well.
I did.
And you're going to do a trick for us today.
I might as well. If you want to just use your finger and point at any card.
All right, let's go. Let's go with this one.
You want this one for sure.
This one for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. Well, actually, why don't you take the card?
Okay.
Take the card and the card that you chose here.
Card on the bottom.
And then I'll look away. You want to show the viewers there.
This is it right here, guys. Let's not tell Tony.
At this point, if you just go ahead and put it back in there, and you can shuffle.
Okay.
However you'd like to do it. Now, the thing about these in particular tricks and stuff is that though magicians have the ability to, do what would be the amazing and the fantastic, you don't know exactly what the trick will be by the end. But as an audience member, you're also trying to think, okay, how is he going to do this, right? So you've already shuffled and put it in. I'm even going to cut it just to make sure that I'm not doing anything too crazy. And I want you to really, really keep the card in your heart. Okay. Like really think about it, in your heart, okay? Because we're going to do a little bit of psychic stuff and whatnot. And, just make sure it is always in your mind. And I have a feeling that if we look at this card, that it is the card in your heart.
This is not the card in my heart.
Okay, so that being said, that's the interesting thing about magicians is that that they have to deal with is that if they mess up the trick, then it's all over. But they could kind of keep it going.
Okay.
So if anything, that's a good example of go ahead and watch the episode, and you get a good idea of what they have to go through.
Yeah,
I totally thought that was your call.
Well, Tony is just learning magic on his own, so we'll have you back on, and we'll see if we can have some more magic tricks the next time you come on.
Maybe
as well.
I might be successful that time. You did keep it in your heart, right?
I did keep it in my heart.
Okay, because I have a feeling that maybe it's actually behind you on the table.
Oh gosh.
If you look right behind the sofa.
Right behind the sofa?
Yeah, right above it. Right above the sofa. Go ahead,
right above the sofa. Okay. There's a table behind us, and this is the card.
Yeah, the John of Hearts.
That is incredible.
How about that?
That is incredible. I don't know how he did it. But head over to our website, check out the Win-Win Situation. It was a great piece. I really enjoyed it. Tony did a great job.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming and performing this trick that I still have no idea how you pulled this off. Thanks for being here, Tony.
Thank you.
We'll have more right after this.